So as per the classification of adrenergic beta blockers, the classification was non-selective adrenergic beta blockers, and second classification, main classification, was cardioselective beta blockers. So why that makes a difference, or why a cardioselective beta blocker was developed? So understand that cardioselective beta blocker means they selectively blocks the beta 1 receptor located in the heart, but they do not have any effect on other beta receptors of adrenergic nervous system. So that gives some advantages over non-selective beta blockers, and that makes them important over non-selective beta blockers. So let us see the importance of cardioselective beta blockers over non-selective adrenergic beta blockers. The first most important advantage, they do not produce bronchoconstriction or bronchospasm, which was dangerous in case of non-selective beta blocker when it is administered to a patient with history of respiratory distress or bronchial asthma. Second, it will not delay the recovery from insulin-induced hypoglycemia, even if the cardioselective beta blocker is given along with insulin. The hypoglycemia will not be delayed because the other beta receptors which are located on the skeletal muscles and liver, they are free and they will promote glycogenolysis and will help the patient to recover from hypoglycemia. But if there is a hypoglycemia due to any other reason, it will be masked because the main symptom of hypoglycemia will be palpitation. So the palpitation or increase in heart rate will be blocked by cardioselective beta blockers. Third advantage, there is no Raynaud's phenomenon because beta 1 receptor is not located in the blood vessels and it will not promote bronchoconstriction. So there won't be any Raynaud's phenomenon, one of the main side effects of non-selective beta blocker. And there won't be any effect on blood carbohydrate or lipid profile because beta 1 receptor is not involved in the metabolic activity. And the cardioselective beta blocker or beta 1 blocker, they will not affect the exercise capacity, though it reduces the heart rate, but it reduces only the elevated heart rate or increase in the heart rate due to increased sympathetic activity, but the normal heart rate will be maintained. So the blood flow to the muscles and other vital organs are not impaired because other beta receptors are not blocked, and beta 1 receptor in the heart is blocked, but it will not produce severe bradycardia. So the exercise capacity is not affected in the patient. So these are the main advantage of cardioselective beta blocker over non-selective beta blockers.